I'm going to get you to lose fat quicker, smarter and more sustainably. So a lot of people, when they go into a calorie deficit or they want to start losing weight, will drop their calories super low, or they'll use MyFitnessPal's horrible ways of working out calories. And that is actually not the fastest way to get fat loss. It might be the fastest way to lose weight that week. It might be the fastest way to lose some scale weight. It's not the fastest way to lose fat loss. You want a sustainable calorie deficit. So 500 to a 700 calorie deficit. I'll drop a really good free calculator below to help you work out where your calories might be. And if you have any questions, let me know. But it's really important you don't go too hard. If you're in 1,000 or 1,000 plus calorie deficit a day, you will not be able to sustain that. And you'll also be tearing through muscle mass and losing water weight. And you won't necessarily just be targeting fat loss. Fat loss is what we're here for. Fat loss is what you want to get rid of. We don't want to get rid of muscle. Make sure you prioritize protein at every single meal. So you want 20 to 30 grams on main meals and a little bit of protein in your snacks as well to get you to your goals pretty much daily. Really important to do this. It's going to help you keep you fuller for longer. It's going to help stabilize blood sugar. It's also going to help with body composition. A lot of people, again, look at just the scale weight. That's not what we're here for. We don't want to be skinny fat. We want to be lean, toned, and feeling confident in ourselves. And to do that, you need enough protein. Try to increase your daily steps. This is such an underrated tool for fat loss, and I know it feels boring, and I know it almost feels like you're not really doing anything, but steps makes a huge difference. I've got a walking pad down there. It's one of the best things I've ever bought, but you don't have to do that. On YouTube, if you type in Get Fit with Rick or 5,000 step workout, you can do some step workouts at home. Tidying, cleaning my house always gets a lot of steps in. Park slightly further away when you go do the food shop or when you do the school run. Whatever it is to get more steps in, if not an intentional walk each day, that will help and that will add up over time. Try to prioritize sleep. So a few things you can do for that is take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate before bed. Just check it with your other supplements. For most people, it's safe and pretty good to do so. That will help sleep quality. Try and have a slightly cooler room. You don't want a freezing room, but a slightly cooler room. Having a hot bath or a hot shower or hot drink before bed will actually lower your body temperature, which I know sounds crazy, but that will help with sleep quality. Invest into like an eye mask or get some blackout blinds. Try and do a few bits of deep breathing or some relaxation before bed. Try to avoid screens, which I know we're all terrible for, but try to avoid screens before bed, or at least turn off the blue light on your phone. Anything like that can make a huge difference to sleep quality, and that will help fat loss. If you are tired, if you are drained, if you're running on empty, it is very hard to listen to your hunger hormones, and it is very hard to have the energy to show up throughout the day. I know this isn't always in our control, but anything you can do to get a little bit better sleep, it will pay off. Stop chasing just clean eating. This might work short term. This might be what we were all doing in 2016. This might be one of those things that you feel like you should do if you want to lose fat. But actually cutting out carbs, cutting out sugar, cutting out all artificial sweeteners and anything added to food is lovely in theory, and ideally in a dream world where our food environment was quite different would probably be quite good, but is not realistic. It means you're going to sacrifice so many social occasions, sacrifice eating out most of the time, sacrifice convenience, and actually making things easier for yourself is so important. So if you have to have some packet rice or a tin of tuna or maybe a pre-made coffee, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill you, and it is about the bigger picture of our diet. To be successful with fat loss, you need to be able to keep it up, and to do that, sometimes you might have something with a bit of added sugar. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a failure, makes you a human who is trying to change their habits on a bigger picture. Stop focusing on daily things and focus on the weekly averages. So with fat loss, it's really important not to get caught up with a daily number if you're weighing yourself every day, or think, okay, I worked really hard yesterday and I don't have abs today. What is going on? It is about the weekly averages, the monthly averages, and the yearly averages. It's not about daily. So put less pressure on the daily things and look at your weekly averages. Did you get more movement in this week than you did last week? Great. You're already moving 1% better than you did last week. Did you eat less calories overall this week than you did last week? Great, you're moving more towards fat loss. Look at the weekly averages. You can even use ChatGPT to kind of work them out for you if you can't do the maths. That makes a huge difference. Every week, just aim to a bit better than you did last week, and you'll feel shredded and beautiful and confident in no time at all. Don't rely on workouts alone. So many of us will go really hard in workouts and start CrossFit or do long runs or brutal HIIT. Like that alone is not going to get you fat loss. And for some women, that stuff isn't even helpful. If you've got PCOS or your cortisol is quite high or you're insulin resistant or you're struggling with perimenopause, sometimes really hard, intense exercise is actually going to make fat loss a little bit harder, which I can talk to in a different video. But promise you now, killing yourself into the ground with workouts alone will not create fat loss. You need to be looking at your nutrition. You need to be looking at your steps. You need to be looking at what you're doing the rest of the day and not just that hour-long workout. Your water, your supplements, all of those things are really important. Try and reduce decision fatigue. People that are successful with fat loss repeat things. They have the same workouts every single week. They eat the same food most weeks. They plan things ahead of time and they reduce decision fatigue, because in a world where we're all drained and we've got kids to be looking after and busy work and family commitment and people just needing stuff from us all the time, the way you're going to be sustainable long term is reducing that decision fatigue and making it realistic and doable. Try and ignore fat loss gimmicks. Go and unfollow anyone on social media that isn't me, and try and not go and buy random supplements from TikTok or random things you see promoted. People are just trying to make money. And don't get me wrong, I also own a business. I get that might be biased, but I also offer a lot of free advice and there's never any pressure to work with me. What I would say is most people who are selling you a fat loss specific product or something that's telling you is going to help fat loss, it's not. The big things that help fat loss is moving more, eating less, and doing that consistently over time. And finally, be patient with your body. There's going to be points where you gain a pound 1 week, or points where you're not really seeing a change on the measurements, or your photos look worse. Things like hormones, stress, sleep, recovery, all of those things and a million different things can come into things. So don't panic. Like, take a zoom out, look at the bigger picture, look at your starting photos, your starting measurements, and again, just work out what you need to change or learn from a failed week or a week that hasn't gone to plan, and what you can take away and improve next week. It is about the bigger picture, it is about the weekly averages, and that is actually how you're going to lose fat quicker. I know some of this you're probably hoping for a secret little pill or a secret little thing you can do, but actually so much of fat loss is about making things that you can do long term to see the fat loss you're after. Most people don't come to me wanting to lose 2 pounds. They come to me wanting to lose 10 plus. So if you want to actually change your physique and get leaner and keep those results as well, you need to make sure it's sustainable long term. Drop me a follow, make sure you're subscribed, and if you're not already, drop me some DMs with what your goals are. I'll go and send you a message with some free tips and tricks. I'm here, I'm in your corner. I'll put lots of useful links in the description. Make sure you are subscribed.